Oh, hello there. Welcome into Fact Kid Certified Sports Entertainment. I am Mike Bernier. We're back. It's been a while since you guys have seen me. Life hit me with a curveball, right in the nuts. Been battling this cold, flu thing that I have going on that's been making talking very, very annoying, frustrating. So, we're back. Well, I also didn't want to struggle because there really wasn't a lot going on. Yeah, there was a Raw reunion. Fight for the Fallen happened for AEW that we didn't really talk to about much. But it's alright. There's a lot to talk about coming up. We got SummerSlam, which I'll be doing a video on because I'm going to it with my wrestling wife, Joe Lopez. I'm meeting him out in Toronto. My real wife is not going. She's a little angry about that. So, breakfast with the fat kid. I'm eating a Hot Pocket because Carol decided to not want to make breakfast this morning. Got my extra toasty cheeses, which are a staple of my diet. Heath Bar cookies because Carol likes to feed me crack. Orange Vanilla Coke. And Bang Energy Power Shot. I would say they're the official sponsors of Fat Kid Certified Sports Entertainment, but they don't pay me for it, and I just drink it anyway, so. My mindset now, because I have been out for a little while due to this sickness thing, is I'm going to do something that a contributor to the Fat Kid Certified brand, 1/3 member, founder of Fat Kid Certified, Jason Gross, aka the Panda, came up with, which he's going to do the Mount Rushmores of every team of his of Major League Baseball. His choice, who he thinks should be there, etc., etc. So I'm going to kind of snowball off of that, and I'm going to do these videos where I'm going to give you guys my Mount Rushmore of 2 teams an episode. Most of the time it's going to be AL, NL splits. I do have some American League, and some National League stuff coming up because of geographical implications. Like I have the Phillies and the Pirates together because they're both in Pennsylvania. Astros, Rangers both because they're in Texas, stuff like that. But most of the time it's going to be National League, American League. Panda is going to be on with me a lot in the coming episodes where we talk about some teams. I know I have Craig penciled in for Yankees, Mets. Jay will probably be in that episode as well. But I bet you can figure out who we're talking about today. That's right, the Miami Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays. I'm in Florida. Why not start with the Florida teams? Why not start with the guys that you actually get to see every day on regular television? So, without any further ado, Orange Vanilla Coke. We're good to go. I'll start with my honorable mentions for the Tampa Bay Rays. I went with Carlos Pena, first baseman. Was a contributor to their decent years that they had. There weren't many that they had that were good. But he was a key clog for them. One of the more notable guys in that franchise. Second up, Wade Boggs got his 3,000th hit in Tampa Bay. I didn't add Boggs because of the lack of longevity in Tampa Bay. I mean, Wade Boggs should be on a lot of teams' Mount Rushmores because of how good he was. But I'm going just simply based on their Tampa Bay careers here. And last but not least, the hardest guy for me to keep off of this list was Carl Crawford. Crawford was their leadoff hitter, their center fielder, their main cog of that team, of the guys that I did not list. And he was a big piece of that. Crawford unfortunately left Tampa, went to Boston, struggled in Boston, and ended up in that big trade to go to LA. So my Mount Rushmore for the Tampa Bay Rays, I'm not going to do this I'm going to do this in any specific order. If I can talk today, that'd be great. Not going to, who I have as first, second, third, fourth, etc. Just going to rip it off from there. Oh, Carol decided that she was going to sneak in and steal my phone. Yay. So, first up on my Mount Rushmore of the Tampa Bay Rays is Ben Zobrist. Ben Zobrist is the utility outfielder, second baseman, shortstop, whatever position you need him to play today, he's going to play it. Zobrist was a key piece for these decent Ray teams that got themselves to the World Series, was a key part of that American League pennant run. Zobrist, these are all regular season stats. These are not including anything in the postseason. Zobrist played 1,064 games as a member of the Rays. He had over 1,000 hits. He had 565 runs scored. He had 229 doubles, 114 home runs, 510 RBIs. He hit 264. He had a 354 on base percentage and was a 2-time All-Star for the Tampa Bay Rays. I kept Zobrist in over Crawford just based off of the longevity that Zobrist had and the ability to play multiple positions. Crawford was also injury-prone part of the time that he was in Tampa Bay, where Zobrist really played his butt off whenever he was given the opportunity to play. So that's why I added Ben Zobrist over Carl Crawford. Second up on my list, Big Game James Shields. probably their #1 starter for a really, really, really long time. Shields, his record doesn't say that he deserves to be there, but when you look at the Tampa Bay Ray organization, they're not anywhere that they were at without James Shields. James Shields threw 1,454 and 2/3 innings for the Rays in 217 starts. He was 87 and 73 at a 3.89 ERA. He had 11 complete games in 2011 as a member of the Rays of his 19 total as a Ray. He had 1,250 strikeouts and a whip of 1.22. He was a one-time All-Star. He was a part of that key rotation that got them to the World Series. So I kept James Shields in. Added that from the pitching staff as a guy who was Tampa-born, Tampa-bred. I think he ends up back in Tampa maybe before his career ends. I don't know. We'll see. He's now a current member of the Boston Red Sox, and that's David Price. Price threw 1,143 and 2/3 innings in 170 starts. He did have some appearance for them out of the bullpen down the stretch run of his rookie year when they won the American League pennant. He was 82 and 47 as a starter for the Rays. He had 1,065 strikeouts and a 1.14 whip. He did win the Cy Young as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays. He also finished second once and is a 4-time All-Star. So the first three on my Mount Rushmore for the Tampa Bay Rays are Ben Zobrist, Big Game James Shields, and David Price. And last but not least, this one should be very simple to everybody that knows anything about baseball. The key member of the Mount Rushmore of the Tampa Bay Rays is third baseman Evan Longoria. Longoria was traded to the San Francisco Giants in a move that was kind of gut-wrenching to anybody in baseball because you don't see these guys that play their full careers with teams anymore. And you really thought Longoria was going to be that guy. With San Francisco in the middle of a pennant race, Tampa Bay decided to give Evan the opportunity to play for a World Series title. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But kudos to Tampa for understanding of what Evan has given them over the 10 years that he was a Ray. He played 10 seasons. He played 1,435 games as a Ray. He had 1,471 hits, 780 runs scored, 338 doubles, 261 home runs, 892 RBIs, a 270 batting average, and a 341 on-base percentage. He was a 3-time All-Star, a 3-time Gold Glove winner, a Silver Slugger Award, and the Rookie of the Year. Evan Longoria is what people want from their franchises. He's a guy that when you look at the Tampa Bay Rays, his #3 will be retired the day he retires, and that's absolutely deserved. I think Evan has been a key contributor to this franchise and keeping them really, I'm not going to say relevant, but really keeping them in Tampa Bay because there's a lot of people that want to see them move now. You know, I don't really feel like they have that patriarch to really build around right now. They have some young guys that's going to be fun, Willie Adam Mays, Kevin Kiermaier, but they don't really have that piece like a Evan Longoria that they had in the 2010-ish, that run. So Longoria, Zobrist, Shields, Price are my Mount Rushmore for the Tampa Bay Rays. If you disagree with me, if you want to make a state a case for Carlos Pena, Wade Buggs, or Carl Crawford, feel free to do it in the comments below. You can hit me up on Twitter @TheyCallMeBurn or on Instagram @fatkidcertifiedse. So that is the Tampa Bay Rays. So hold on. Hat change. No, I do not have a new Miami Marlins hat because they keep changing their colors way too goddamn much. I went with the original orange, not the throwback teal or the new black and like red or whatever the hell it is, for the Miami Marlins. My honorable mentions for the Miami Marlins: Josh Johnson. Guy was a big starter for them in that middle run with Josh Beckett, who was also on my honorable mentions list. He did not make my Mount Rushmore either. Surprise. He did win the World Series MVP, but he did not make my Mount Rushmore. Johnson was a big piece for them. Was a guy that ate a lot of innings for them. Nobody really gives Josh a lot of credit. So kudos there. Dontrell Willis, the D-Train. Everybody loved themselves some Dontrell Willis until they didn't anymore. And it was really kind of surprising because, I mean, the guy was pretty legit. Sorry guys, I'm hungry. My other honorable mentions: Ivan Pudge Rodriguez. He only played 1 year in Miami, but they won the world title. So, I mean, I guess you got to give him some kind of credit there. My other two honorable mentions are from current and past Miami Marlins. Giancarlo, don't call me Mike Stanton. who is now a member of the Yankees. He was traded for Starlin Castro in pieces. And Jose Fernandez, who untimely passed away, I believe it was 2 years ago, in an unfortunate boating accident where there was drug-related involvement. I don't feel like the Marlins pressed the panic button and trade Stanton and Yelich, and Ozuna the way they do if they don't lose Jose in that unfortunate accident. I feel like the Marlins will still be a team that could be building to be a contender, but unfortunately we'll never find out about that because Jose was taken from us. And it was a mistake, a really bad mistake that caused that to happen. And, you know, the drugs being involved is a thing that, you know, unfortunately is a everyday occurrence in modern day America. I mean, you don't need to be on drugs to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. We've seen that with the tragedies in Dayton and El Paso. Wrong place, wrong time. So, what can you do? So, the Mount Rushmore for myself, for the Miami Marlins. We'll start off with Mike Lowell, an integral piece in their World Series win back in 2002. Lowell played 981 games as a member of the Marlins, had 965 hits, had 477 runs scored, 241 doubles, 143 home runs, 578 RBIs, a 272 batting average, and a 339 on-base percentage. Lowell was a 3-time All-Star, a Silver Slugger, and Gold Glove Award winner as a member of the Miami Marlins. Second up is Jeff Conine, the guy that they call Mr. Marlin. He played 8 seasons for a total of 1,014 games, had 1,005 hits, had 447 runs scored, 180 doubles, 120 home runs, 553 RBIs. He had a 290 batting average and a 358 on base percentage. He is a 2-time All-Star and finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year, his rookie year. I need energy. So, first up Lowell, then Conine. It was Cliff Floyd. Floyd played 637 games as a member of the Miami Marlins, had 661 hits, so he had more hits than games played. That's pretty cool. 392 runs scored. He had 167 doubles, 110 home runs, had 409 RBIs, a 294 batting average, and a 375 on base percentage. He had 1 All-Star game appearance as a member of the Marlins. I went back and forth on Cliff Floyd, Josh Johnson, and then the 1 year of Ivan Rodriguez here. Kind of the same way I went back and forth, if you remember, with Tampa Bay, with what I wanted to do about James Shields. But I thought Shields deserved to be there. I thought Floyd deserved to be here for the longevity over the 1 year of Ivan Rodriguez. Josh Johnson was really the only one that I was actually really giving hard consideration to bumping Cliff Floyd. And last but not least, I'm not going to call him the patriarch, but I'm going to call him a big piece of the Marlins organization for an extended period of time. He played 7 years as a member of the Marlins. It's Hanley Ramirez. Hanley was the key acquisition in the Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell trade. Hanley came over, played 943 games as a member of the Marlins. He had 1,103 hits. He had 666 runs scored. He had 232 doubles. Had 148 home runs, 482 RBIs. He hit 300 and had a 374 on-base percentage as a member of the Marlins. He's a 3-time All-Star, a 2-time Silver Slugger, finished in the top 10 of the MVP twice, and was the Rookie of the Year his rookie year as a member of the Marlins. Hanley was a guy that, you know, if you look up Mr. Marlin in the dictionary, everyone's going to say Jeff Conine, but I think it's Hanley Ramirez. Hanley's been a key piece of that team. He came back as a free agent before being, you know, shipped away again. I think he's a guy that's just been a very big piece for them. He's been a patriarch, someone who was good in the community, someone that the fans in Miami loved. So, you know, I say Mr. Marlin. I'm actually leaning more towards Hanley Ramirez than I am Jeff Conine. I know Conine has a World Series title and stuff like that, but Hanley's done a lot for this team when this team was really, really bad and playing in Dolphin Stadium, which was a fucking zoo as it was, because that stadium was atrociously built for baseball. But it is what it is. So my Mount Rushmore for the Miami Marlins, Cliff Floyd, Mike Lowell, Jeff Conine, and Hanley Ramirez. So that is the Mount Rushmore of the teams in Florida. I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to fly to the West Coast. We're going to talk Dodgers. Will Clayton Kershaw be there? Will I have a shot of potentially putting on one of these young guys? Maybe a Cody Bellinger? Probably not. Will there be a snub that you guys think I'm going to put on that list? Who knows? And the team that I'm going to talk about with them is their crosstown rivals, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We know Mike Trout's going to be on that list, and if you don't think he's going to be, you're out of your mind. Who will the other three members be? We'll talk about that on our next episode of the Mount Rushmores of Major League Baseball. Make sure you guys subscribe down below, hit the like button, thumbs up, all that fun stuff. If you think I missed somebody from the Rays or the Marlins, feel free to put in the comments. I will put up the full list of teams so you guys can kind of follow along with what we're going to do. I'll probably put that on my Facebook page as well as my Twitter at TheyCallMeBurn. Also, feel free to follow along on Instagram at fatkidcertifiedse. And we have a podcast that we're getting up and going. Myself, Ernest E.J. Christian, someone who will be on this show, and at the real Joe Lopez. Don't follow him on Twitter. He doesn't have a Twitter. That's the Wrassling Retrospective. That's gonna be a fun time. So if you're into wrestling, I will have the NXT and SummerSlam stuff coming up probably on Thursday. Guys, hit that subscribe button on this YouTube channel. Follow along. Enjoy the ride. I'll have better food next time. I'll make sure I'll actually make me food that I don't have to try to chew like fucking a Hot Pocket that made my teeth hurt. I'll actually probably have bacon and egg or something like that. Bang. We out.